All right, everybody, you know what? Let's just jump right into it. I'm going to talk about indifference and when people stop caring. And you can tell when somebody stops caring. I've been in this situation before. I'm going to tell you right now, here's how it goes. You're standing there and you're watching your significant other walk to the car. You're looking out the window, right? And before you look out the window because you love them and just you want to see them, maybe you want to look at their backside and go, wow, yum, or something like that. You love them. You want to watch them walk. Everything about them is great. And now you watch them walk away, and the further they get away, the happier you are. You don't want to get rid of them. You don't want to break up with them yet. You're not thinking about breaking up with them, but you notice the further they get away, the happier you are. As their car pulls away, you're a little bit happier. When you see the car pull off into the distance and you don't see him anymore, you look around the house and you realize how happy the house is with them away. Now, this is the part of the relationship where, quite frankly, let's be honest, you still have more good times than bad times. Before, when you first got together, it was like 99-1 or 100-0. It was almost all good stuff. Then it went to about 90-10. Not a big deal. You're 90-10 with your best friends. No problem. 80-20. Still great. If you get an 80 on the test, you got to be 75-25. Okay, now if you have a test that's a C, right? The 60-40. Okay, it's still more good than 55-45, 50-50. Oh, crap. At that point, you don't know what you're going to get when you come home. You don't know who you're going to get when you come home. You walk in the house and you get to visit the person that you love, and everything's all fantastic. When you're kissing on each other, everything's great. And then, ooh, the other 50% of the time, you walk into the house and you would much rather walk into the house and see a pit bull that was yelled at and teased with your sock to give him your scent. Yeah, that's right. But as the number gets below 50%, as it goes down, all of a sudden, oh no, oh crap, oh no, not that. All of a sudden, you don't feel the pain anymore. 40-50 hurts a little bit. 30, let me say 40-60 hurts a little bit. 30-70, 20-80, 10-90. Now, 9 times out of 10, you see the other person. You either don't give a crap or you don't like them, and that's when it's time to go. But you haven't made the decision to go, but it's time to go. And you watch them. I remember looking out, I was visiting a girlfriend when I was in the 10-90 phase. It was 10% good, 90% bad. And I'm watching her walk down the street and she's having a conversation like this, that, that. Now, back then, there were no cell phones like that. So this was her doing all of that, right? And I caught myself talking to myself in the mirror while I was shaving. I can't believe it. I don't need this. This is some bull stuff. I don't need this. Is man, I'm happy. I can't wait till she goes visit her family because she don't have to come visit me. We could just meet someplace. I don't mind. And you go through all of that. Then it comes a part where you don't care at all. She's trying to make you jealous. You don't care. You're not even trying to make her jealous. You just don't want to be around her. She thinks you're trying to make her jealous. You're just avoiding her. You don't want to be around. And when the indifference comes, that's when it gets really nasty. I had a girlfriend say to me one time, if you don't do what I say, I'm just going to start seeing other people. How do you like that? And she was looking at me, waiting for me to be, oh no, please don't do that. But I'm not that type of cat. I'm not that type of cat. I didn't even respond to it. She said to me, you don't start doing what I say, I'm going to start seeing other people. And I'm a comedian. I'm a professional comedian. I was still working at the time. I could have come up with something. I could have said something that would have chopped her soul out. But I chose not to. I just did this. And she's waiting for at least see somebody else. And she's looking at me, waiting for the response, waiting to see pain in my face, waiting to see me start begging for her not to do that, waiting to see a flicker of fear in my face. And there was no expression at all except for me doing this. Why? I had moved into the point where I was now indifferent. But I'm not a mean-spirited guy, so when I'm indifferent, that just means I'm on the way out. I'm not going to do anything. I didn't cheat, never cheated in my life, never will. But she did. She had become indifferent to me. And when you become indifferent to somebody, when you dehumanize somebody, when you don't care about another person, all of a sudden, you're not your name anymore. You're him. And she's her. Right? I actually heard a person refer to their husband as it. And we're all looking at the person like, yeah, she called her husband it. It's going to be home later on. We're like, oh, yeah, we already know that divorce is coming. Because when you dehumanize people, when you call them names, especially really derogatory names, you know what that means, right? If they're not a human being, it really doesn't matter what happens to them, does it? It doesn't matter to you. They're not a human being anymore. What difference does it make what happens to them? That's how you feel. When people use specific words for specific ethnicities, they're dehumanizing them. And so what that means is if they dehumanize them, it doesn't matter if bad things happen to them. Let me go back to the relationship. If you're it, or him, or she's her, or that, and you in bed with somebody else doing things with that other person that you shouldn't be doing with that other person, you're not thinking about if it would hurt your wife, because your wife is now her or that. Your husband is now him or it. So it doesn't matter if you hurt them. But what people don't realize is when you dehumanize somebody else, you don't realize that you are dehumanizing yourself. Because you're behaving in ways that you know are wrong. You're doing things that a human being shouldn't do to another human being. Think about when you're fighting somebody, when you're getting into a physical altercation. And I've been in a few of those in my day. I know that if I take my fist as a grown man and I throw a punch and I hit a guy in the jaw, I'm going to hurt this person. And if I connect right, he's going to be unconscious. And if he's unconscious, he's going to fall to the ground. And if he falls to the ground, he could hit his head and that could cause permanent injury. But when you're fighting, you're not thinking about that, are you? Same thing when the same person who initiated the confrontation, by the way, I just finished it, I didn't start it, trying to hit me for something I didn't even do. Apologized a week later. But what if I had lost? Right? Because when you knock a person unconscious, now you're at the person's mercy. They could do whatever they want to. They could end you if they chose to, because you can't defend yourself. You've dehumanized the person. The moment you put your hands up to strike the other person, you don't think of them as a human being. The moment you call somebody a specific name or specific names or change what they are, you don't think of them as a human being. You've become indifferent. And in becoming indifferent, you become different. You don't become who you're supposed to be. I remember in a situation where I had become indifferent to my girlfriend at the time. I should have just ended it before she started cheating. And when she cheated and I found out about it, I wasn't even hurt. I was indifferent. I found out about it and she tried to rub it in my face. And she was waiting for me to be all upset. At the time, she was trying to... She thought if she cheated on me to show me how other people wanted me, her, I should say, that I would start doing what she wanted to do. And even though it was 10-90, 10 good, 90% bad, because there was some 10 good, there was still a little bit of a toehold she had in my life. And if she had changed her behavior and had not done that, there was a possibility, a small one, but a possibility we might have been able to very slowly begin to fix things. She really thought that getting it on with another dude to show that other people want her and to show me what I was, quote, missing was going to, quote, get me back. Not get back at me, but get me back. And then when she very tearfully and solemnly told me, I just, I felt that this, I'm not even going to tell you her dumb explanation because it was so dumb. She might as well have sounded like one of those Charlie Brown cartoon characters. Wah, 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 because I didn't give a crap at that point. But the possibilities of us getting back together went down to negative infinity. She tells me about the affair. It was one time, and I just felt that, I felt guilty right afterward, and I did use protection because I didn't want to give you any diseases, and like I said, that's what it started to sound like to me. All that gibberish. And I was standing in front of her. She's on the chair, on the couch, and she looks up at me like this, as if I'm supposed to go, well, now that you told me that another man was all up in you, but you felt bad about it, even though at any particular time you could have not let that happen. There were many, many opportunities where you could have stopped that, including when you thought about doing it in the first place, because you didn't just fall on top of the dude. You set up a date. You went out with the dude. You went out with the dude. You went out with the dude. She went out with him 3 times. And then on the 4th time, boom, boom, jiggity, boom, the boom, jiggy, jiggy, you got it on with him. And you thought I was going to take you back after that? You thought the grass was greener, and you realized it wasn't greener. You realized let's just say that dude wasn't me. And now you think you're coming back here? Really? Are you kidding me? She had become indifferent to me as a human being. She had forgotten about my humanity. And even though we were having a tough time, mainly because she was mean to me a lot, and I put up with it, we were having a tough time. We could have gotten over it, I guess. But the second you let that other guy put his car in your garage, I realized I didn't want the parking space anymore. Oh no. When you become indifferent to somebody, they don't care about your humanity anymore. When you try to hit somebody in the face, you're not thinking about the ramifications of what could happen to you. You're not thinking about the fact that this guy can be permanently injured, and you could wind up in jail because somebody stepped on your shoe, or because somebody did something you didn't think they did, right? Or you accuse somebody of something they didn't do. You ain't thinking about that. You're thinking about the fact that you're mad right now. And that's stupid. Once again, if you become indifferent to somebody else's humanity, you don't realize you're actually damaging your own humanity, and you're making a huge mistake. Fortunately, when I whooped that guy's behind, I didn't hit him as hard as I could. I just smacked him around enough to let him know that you cannot defeat me in this physical altercation. And once he realized that, he left. And then he apologized when he found out that I didn't do what he thought I did. He thought I was trying to talk to his girlfriend. I didn't know his girlfriend existed. I had a conversation with somebody at a place. I wasn't even hitting on the lady. She initiated the conversation. It was just 2 people talking. Had he actually heard the conversation, overheard it, he wouldn't have been jealous. I don't even remember the conversation. It was like, hey, this is a good game, isn't it? Yeah, pass the peanuts or some crap like that. It wasn't even that long of a conversation. I kind of turned to it like this. Yeah, pass the peanuts. Yeah, and that was about it. But Captain Jealous decided he wanted to have a physical altercation with somebody that didn't do anything. And he got his behind whooped for it. My girlfriend at the time, we were having a rough period because her girlfriends told him, he's cute, but he doesn't make that much money, right? And she started becoming mean because of that. Because of what they said. They ain't having any, well, they had boyfriends, but their boyfriend, not really. Right? And then he wound up throwing away somebody who actually you might be with me right now. Decades later. Happy. But she didn't. She didn't. She didn't think about my humanity. She went out of her way to try to hurt me. And didn't do it, and it didn't work. Because it usually doesn't. It usually turns into something bad when you disrespect somebody's humanity. Once again, you're indifferent, but your indifference makes you different. Different than what you should be. You dig? So what I'm saying is, look, before you put your hands on somebody, make sure you're just doing it to defend yourself. Before you go off running off with somebody else and you're in a relationship, either try to fix the relationship or show the person some respect and break up with them first before you become indifferent. Because in that way, you're going to be different. And different isn't always good. And indifference never is. You dig? Cool. All right, I'm Mr. S. Anthony Thomas. Thank you for listening. I will see you again next time. Much love to all of you. I know I've got listeners all over the world now, so wherever you are, thank you for listening. Much love to you, and I will see you again next time. Take care.